Okay, so AI,
Yeah.
it's doing amazing stuff, right? But we've all seen those moments where it just fails spectacularly.
Oh, definitely. And that's really what we're digging into today, based on these sources. Why does that happen?
Yeah, exactly. Our mission here is to sort of unpack the main reasons AI messes up, looking at its learning process, and its limits.
And the bottom line, really, is that it often comes down to the data, the limits of the data it learned from.
Like, if you only ever read books about dogs, you wouldn't know much about cats.
Precisely that kind of idea. AI's world is defined by its training data. Anything outside that, that's where the problems start.
Okay, so one term that popped up was data discrepancy. What's the gist of that?
Right, data discrepancy. It's basically the gap between the neat, tidy data the AI trained on and the messy, unpredictable real world.
Ah, so it's trained in a lab but has to work out in the wild.
Exactly. And its accuracy, what the sources call local generalization, is pretty much stuck within the boundaries of that training data. It struggles to generalize beyond that.
Which brings us to that cars only example. That really clicked for me.
Oh yeah, the cars only mix-up. It's a great illustration. You train an AI just on car pictures. Thousands of them.
Right, it gets really good at spotting cars.
Super good, but then you show it, I don't know, a picture of a poodle.
What happens?
It might just shout CAR because, well, in its limited world, everything it's supposed to identify is a car. It hasn't learned not car or dog.
Wow. So it literally cannot compute what hasn't been shown. Lesson learned. Teach it everything it might encounter.
Or it'll make mistakes. Then there's the red apple expert example, which shows a slightly different flavor of the problem.
How so?
Well, imagine an AI trained only on perfect red apples. It knows red apples inside out.
Okay.
Now show it a green apple. Or maybe a pear. It hasn't seen those specific things before.
So it guesses?
It might hesitate. Maybe it weakly guesses red apple, because that's the closest thing in its database. But the key thing is its confidence plummets. It knows it's on shaky ground.
Ah, I see. So unfamiliar data makes it less sure of itself, unlike the cars only AI, which was confidently wrong.
Exactly. Different failure modes based on the training specifics.
So, okay, AI has these built-in limitations based on data. How to make it safer, more reliable then? The sources mentioned some solutions.
Yeah, a couple of really interesting approaches. One is teaching the AI to practice judgment withholding.
Fancy term for, I don't know.
Pretty much. Instead of making a risky guess when it encounters something outside its training, it flags it. It admits uncertainty.
Like the medical AI example.
Right. If it sees symptoms of a super rare disease it wasn't trained on, it shouldn't guess. It should say, human doctor needed here, builds trust, prevents harm.
Makes total sense. Knowing your limits. What was the other man's solution?
Human AI partnership, basically leveraging the best of both worlds.
How does that work in practice?
Well, AI is great at handling huge amounts of data, routine tasks, the grunt work. Humans excel at nuance, context, novel situations, common sense.
So the self-driving car example fits here.
Perfectly. The car handles standard driving. But if there's some weird debris on the road it doesn't recognize, it alerts the human driver, hey, you need to take over.
Right, playing to strengths. The AI does the predictable, the human handles the weird stuff.
Exactly. And it all circles back to understanding how AI learns. It's using what the sources call inductive reasoning.
Which means?
It finds statistical patterns, correlations in the data. It learns that this often goes with that. It's incredibly powerful pattern matching, but it's not genuine understanding. It hasn't comprehended the world like we do.
So it's trained, not truly intelligent in our sense of the word.
Precisely. Which leads to this really important design principle. Honesty is better than confidence.
Honesty, confidence. I like that. An AI that knows what it doesn't know is safer.
Much safer, and ultimately more trustworthy.
Okay, let's quickly recap then. AI errors often stem from the limits of its training data. It struggles with new stuff.
And good AI design means building in ways for it to recognize those limits. Maybe say, I don't know, and work with humans.
Right. Collaboration, not just automation.
Which brings us to a final thought to leave you with. If AI's knowledge is so directly tied to the data we feed it,
Yeah.
what does that mean long term? As these systems get woven deeper into everything we do, running on data that might be incomplete or even biased, what are the ripple effects we need to think about?
That's definitely something to chew on. The quality and completeness of that training data become incredibly critical.